From the top rope to your collection, this is Collecting the 1, 2, 3 presented by Cardboard Dugout. I am your host, Boone 3PO. And this is my tag team partner, Bro PO. Now, for the YouTube viewers, if you're watching on YouTube, depending on where he's at on the screen post editing, you will see here that there is a middleman in the middle. This is like Shield-esque. I just thought about that. This is technically, we got a Shield thing going on right now. So this intro is bound to change soon.
Yeah.
We do not have a name for him yet, but you guys have heard me refer him on the podcast, dumbass, bozo. I've called him many things here on this podcast before. But this is our younger brother. He's been more into the action figure game, but of course, just like us, he is a huge, big WWE fan. So when we started the pod here, I know we kind of briefly talked about him getting and joining on the pod, but again, like we expressed here, he is a bozo, does not know how technology works. Surprisingly joined pretty easily, so it kind of surprised me a little bit, so I might have to take that back. But do I want to dox you? Do I want to call you by your first name, or we going by Jim Bro? We'll go Jim Bro for now. I don't want to dox you yet, even though when we gave out your Instagram name, you might be a little bit doxed, but that's all right. We'll live with it when we go. So Jim Bro, whatever you want to call yourself, Bozo PO. We'll put out a poll maybe a little bit later, deciding your name. But officially, welcome to the pod. You will be joining in when you can. Obviously, you're a very busy man, so you will be joining in when you can. But let's open up the floor for you for a little bit. Let's introduce yourself. What you got to say? What's something we got to know about you? Who's your favorite wrestler? I know you're not really into the card game, which I'm pretty sure you'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah. Let's open up the floor for you for a little bit. What you got for yourself, and what should the good old listeners of Collecting the 1, 2, 3 know about you?
Before we start off, I like that idea of putting up a poll for my name. So I'm gonna try to come up with 3 names, and then we're gonna do a poll, and then those 3 names, I'll take the fans' thoughts into consideration. But the little thing about me. Oh, and before we start off too. You told me about the technology. I was the first one on here. I had no issues. So the technology is not too bad. But just a little bit about me. I'm a good old wrestling fan.
Got a good point.
I'm into the baseball game, into football, all the sports. I'm a UFC guy, mainly too. And I got my belt right here too. I'm into the belts. Let me just flex this real quick before we start.
For the YouTube guys, he's flexing off his undisputed championship. Of the audio
for the YouTube guys, for the
audio listeners may be a little bit confused, but YouTube watchers, he's flexing off one of his undisputed championship belts.
But yeah, like I said, I'm more into the figure collecting. I would say I'm into the ultimate editions. That's probably the line I like to stick to, just because it's a cleaner look. You're able to open the box, close the box, kind of like the best way I describe it's like a shoe. You open the box, take the shoe out. You look at it a couple, and then you put it back in the box, close the box. So I personally like the Ultimate Editions. Got a couple of those, or a lot of those. I guess my favorite wrestler is, I'm repping him right now, Roman Reigns. I acknowledge my tribal chief. And I slowly want to get into the WWE wrestling cards. I got into the Panini, right? The
Panini.
Yeah, I got into those a little bit. I bought one box, kind of was like up in the air about it. But now seeing the Topps Chrome cards coming out, definitely want to get into that. I saw a couple of like signed ones that look pretty cool. Saw like the Rock and the Roman Reigns card. That one looked really cool. But yeah, it's a little bit about me. Also, I'm a Jim Bro.
Oh,
we know. We can tell by your name.
So yeah, it's a little bit. That's like some iceberg level about me. But I guess as the pod will go on, people will learn more about me.
Yeah, and I think he's in a perfect example of what we think like the Topps and Fanatics, what the little partnership is going to do. Like he's like that guy where they're now promoting Topps is now promoting their cards, and he has like no knowledge of the cards. So like him coming into the hobby, he's like a perfect example where I think of where like it's somebody I knew to the hobby can like learn with him, and we can, hopefully bring some experience with that. Obviously, has it more directly with us, but like if you're new to the podcast or listening, like you guys can definitely learn as you go and collect, what you love and collect your favorite superstars, things of that nature. So if it's the belts, the figures, things like that, you'll bring some knowledge on the figures. Bro Pio and I, we expressed here in the beginning of when we started collecting the 1, 2, 3 that we weren't really into the figures, but we know obviously you're into the figure game, and I know we have a little bit of a segment for you towards the end as far as of what figures to look out for. So stay on the lookout for that. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I know, again, we talked about you coming in. We got you officially in on the 3rd episode. But let's throw it here to Bro Pio really quick. Bro Pio, is there anything here that this guy might have missed here as far as this, or what do you think about adding him into our little faction?
I think it's gonna be good. Like I said, I think all of us, 3 of us, like it, especially when it comes to like the card and then, like the collecting. I think obviously you're probably like the one that like dives a little bit more with all like the hobby boxes. I'm more of like the the blasters, the value boxes, and then Jim Bro over here, um, wants to get into it, doesn't know where to start. So it's a good like 3 different like versions of collecting for these cards. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good to get like his thoughts here and there about like when it comes to cards and see what he thinks about them. So
A good dynamic.
It's gonna be a good dynamic.
I guess before we get into it, if we're the Shield, who's who?
Ooh. I guess if we're, I guess if, I was gonna say if we're gonna go off of like looks, I would say Bro Pio's Roman, and then I got Moon Pio as Seth Rollins, and just me John Moxley, because John Moxley lately has been looking pretty yoked, so he's a big boy right now.
He is pretty yoked. Yeah, AEW Mox is pretty yoked. That'll be up for this. That'll come up for discussion a little bit later.
Come back home,
who's
please.
Who in the Shield era. But all right, guys, that's enough. That's enough introductions. Let's talk about some good old wrestling. Obviously, we're recording this here Sunday night, 11:30 Central Standard Time. Hopefully, this episode is out on Monday, no later than Tuesday, depending on how fast I'm able to upload this and get this edited. But this past Saturday, it was the Royal Rumble. We had the Women's Royal Rumble. We had Motor Machine Guns versus DIY. We got KO versus Cody Rhodes in a ladder match. And obviously, we have the Men's Royal Rumble match. So we're obviously going to cover the whole card, talk about what we thought about it, what was our disappointment of the card, what was the highs, what were the lows of each match, and we'll kind of just go from there. So we'll go in the order of the card. We have the Women's Royal Rumble. If you guys listened to the last episode, obviously, Jim Bro, you were not on that episode, but Bro Pio and I, we both had Io Sky winning the Women's Royal Rumble, which unfortunately did not happen. Came close. She was like in the final like 10ish, and then there was that big spot with Nia Jax when she eliminated six of the women in there, something crazy like that.
It was 6. It was 6.
She threw like half.
So like
she threw like half the world
crazy
in that
little
Rumble.
fun spot where they're kind of all like dangling, fighting for the life there at the end. But so yeah, Io Sky, unfortunately, they're not able to take home the Royal Rumble, and it was won upon the returning Charlotte Flair. So I guess before we go into the surprises, the returns, the disappointments, what will we rate this? We're not Dave Metzler, so we're not going to do a Dave Metzler score. But what will we rate the Women's Royal Rumble? Because in past years, the women's has been better than the men's. Maybe not the case for this year, but we'll go in order. Jim Bro, because I see you on my side. I don't know how that looks on your guys, but Jim Bro, how does it look? How would you rate this Women's Royal Rumble?
So we're doing out of 5, right? Like how they normally do out of wrestling.
on a 5-star scale, yeah. Or a letter grade.
Or you can go letter grade.
I'll just do I'll do the numbers. Yeah. I honestly give it a solid 4.5. Like you said, mainly it's been better than the men's, but I will say this was the first year that it wasn't. But even then, the couple of surprise entrants like the Alexa Bliss and the Nikki Bella, it was just enough. Oh, and the Jordan Grace, it was just enough surprise entrances, but it wasn't too many, if that makes sense. And then I also liked how they gave a good spotlight to the NXT superstars, because I would say like out of half of those, I didn't know who they were, but just from what I saw, I liked. And obviously the winner, I don't want her to win. So my pre-prediction was Io Sky too, but Charlotte Flair, what's her name, Santi, that other YouTuber guy.
Santi.
He says he says
Oh,
taxes,
Santi's there.
death, and Charlotte Flair taking a big moment is the only things guaranteed in his life. So other than that, it was a solid match. I give it a 4.5 or four out of five.
Yeah, I was gonna go the same thing. I'm probably gonna give it like a 4 out of a 5, or if you want to get a letter grade, I was gonna give it like a B. Um, yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I think it was like this. I think we talked about it too the last time. I felt like giving it like to Charlotte, like Charlotte Williams, like that was like the safest thing that they could do. Um, like like I said, I thought they were gonna give it to Io, but as soon as I saw her come out number 1, I was like, oh shit, we're screwed. That ain't gonna happen. But like shout out to Io and Liv. Like that's the one thing about the women's rumble. Like the first two are always like the workhorses of those rumbles, so they usually last the whole rumble. And I think Roxanne Perez came out third, right? I think now she broke the record for like the longest time in the rumble. I think like had an hour and 5 minutes, so that was pretty cool. So, but yeah, I mean it was a good rumble. But again, could have picked somebody different instead of Charlotte to win, but that's personally just me. But yeah,
It would have got a 5 out of 5 if our girl AJ Lee would have made the return to the Rumble. Obviously, there was a lot of rumblings. I think more this time around, obviously with Punk being there, I think he kind of even like teased it a little bit, even though he told us straight up that she was not going to be there. There was a part of us that a little slimmer of hope that she would have returned. But yeah, I know I give it about a 4 out of 5. Same thing, B plus, B tier on the grade itself. I think the bigger shocker for me in this Rumble was kind of like we just mentioned there, Bro Peel, was Roxanne Perez being the second to last, being eliminated before Charlotte Flair. I did not see that coming at all. I thought maybe it would have been something where Bayley eliminates her and she's kind of out midway of the match.
I remember I had talked about that too. I thought maybe like to continue that feud, like she would have thrown out Bayley or Bayley would have thrown out her, and I don't even think they were eliminated by each other. I don't remember who threw out Bayley.
Probably was Nia Jax, I think, at that point.
It might have been Nia Jax.
I think. Yeah.
And then obviously.
But yeah, I think that was the most surprising thing for me. Obviously there was I think a good amount of NXT. But I've been watching a little bit more NXT recently. So seeing, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, Lash Legend. It was good to see them kind of get in the mix here. We kind of briefly touched upon it last episode too, that we had thought maybe Jada Parker was going to be a little bit into some heat with some things that we're not going to talk about, but looks like they're not really talking about it, and she had a good little moment there. But yeah, I overall thought it was a good Rumble. Again, I didn't think Charlotte Flair was going to win. I think obviously that was a more like predictable thing, but I think like Triple H says sometimes predictable is good. So I guess they could have gone somewhere else. They could have done something else, but yeah, I guess we got to take it what it is. Now with Charlotte, I guess the question is, now we have to ask ourselves, who does she end up facing? We were talking about it. We watched the Rumble together, so this is a conversation that's now officially hitting the internet. Charlotte Flair has her history with Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania during COVID. Obviously, Charlotte challenged Rhea Ripley for the NXT Championship. She won that one. And then 2 years ago, if my timeline's fitting me correctly, we had Rhea defeating Charlotte at WrestleMania. So technically, right now, they are 1-1 at the grandest stage of them all. But then, of course, there is Tiffany Stratton, which I think is just the perfect matchup between those two. Their styles will just mesh perfectly together. Obviously, Tiffany Stratton just cashing in, so she's had a little bit of a short reign, so that would be her first major reign heading into WrestleMania season. But who do we want to see Charlotte Flair challenging at WrestleMania? Do we go for the tiebreaker with Rhea Ripley, or do we start something fresh with Tiffany Stratton?
I think it's probably going to be Rhea, honestly. I think that's where the moolah's at, that they're going to go with that. And then, of course, like you said, they already had the one-on-one. They both have one victory over each other. But, yeah, I think they're probably going to roll with Rhea, which I don't think Rhea would lose to Charlotte, honestly. But that'll be for WrestleMania prediction time.
Jim, bro?
Yeah, I do think Rhea makes probably the most sense. I don't see. There's already a feud there. There's already something there. So just that already history alone, them being 1-1, that probably makes the most sense. I see honestly Tiffany Stratton maybe fighting Nia Jax at WrestleMania. So
Yeah, the logical, the booker in me will
Ooh.
want to see the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I just don't know if they go that route. I don't know. That's like again like the safe route. I think the Charlotte Flair and the Tiffany just makes perfect sense. But again, kind of circles back here with that is Charlotte Flair. I know Jim Bro and I were waiting for Bro Pio to join in. We're kind of talking about the title reign of Tiffany Stratton. Is like, would you have her lose that title really quickly at WrestleMania? Because there comes that question. It's like, are you really going to have Charlotte Flair win the Rumble, a returning Charlotte Flair win the Rumble, and then lose to Tiffany at WrestleMania? I don't know if they'll exactly would do that. And to me, I think that's a feud that deserves like a year-long buildup, or it deserves such a longer buildup. A 2 to 3 month buildup for me doesn't really. I don't think it'll do that match any justice. I feel like we've just like you guys just mentioned here. There's already enough history between Charlotte Flair and Rhea that they can easily just build that upon. And obviously, with the whole Netflix thing, you'll have Charlotte on Raw for Netflix. So I think there's just there's a lot of promotional stuff that you can do with that I think um, Charlotte Flair would and Rhea just makes a lot more sense than Tiffany. Granted, I think that match is going to happen down the line. When it will, I don't know. But yeah, I think we're all on the same page here that Rhea and Charlotte fits the mold. But if that's going to happen, time will tell. Have they said in Monday if she's announced anything? I don't think so, right? They haven't really announced anything for either or.
I don't think so. I don't think they've announced anything yet, but usually don't they drag it out a little
Usually,
bit
I
sometimes?
don't remember when Bailey. Oh, I remember Bailey took a little bit. 'Cause I know there was the whole thing with the damage control stuff last year, and then obviously we had the bullshit with Cody and The
Yeah.
Rock. So
'Cause when was the Elimination Chamber? Oh, it's on March 1st. So it's legit like what are we in the second? So we got like
yeah, give or
what,
take.
25 days, 26 days? Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they'll drag it out maybe a week or two. But I would assume they need to do it quick because they have to announce like who's going to be in the chamber and
Yeah,
what they're going to be
yeah,
fighting
that's
for.
my thought
So
process. So stay tuned for that. Once, of course, those winners, or we haven't got to the men's yet, but once Charlotte Flair does declare who she'll be facing at WrestleMania, obviously here we'll be covering here on the pod. So stay tuned for that. Did we miss anything here as far as the women's? I know we kind of hinted on some of the returns. It was nice seeing Alexa Bliss back. Jordan Grace, now officially a WWE superstar. She changed her bio on her X or Twitter profile, or you want to call it. So she is officially WWE bound. Um, but I feel like we don't. I feel like we didn't miss anything. It was criminal seeing Alexa Bliss get eliminated a little bit earlier, but it was nice to see her back with the nice touch to Bray Wyatt and the Fiend with the jacket. It's going to be curious to see if they do introduce her back to the Wyatt Six or not. But um,
did we?
she's going to Raw.
I heard she's going to Raw.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter saying that she's going to Raw, so that would
the Wyatt Six. Yeah.
axe
Oh, I
the
didn't see
White
that.
Six.
hey, so what's
Yeah,
y'all's thoughts on Nikki Bella coming
yeah.
back? And it looks like she's gonna be back for a couple more matches.
That's why I skipped over it. It has not, it did nothing to me.
Mid or what?
I don't know. I honestly don't even. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I have
mean,
like
when I was
I don't know. Like I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, like it doesn't. Yeah, like it doesn't really do anything. It's kind of like the
Honestly, that's
where's
what I was
Brie?
feeling
Bring
too. I
back
was like,
Brie.
if any of them would have
Brie
came back,
mode.
it should have been Brie. But I mean, I guess because Brian Daniels is AEW, so we weren't gonna see that.
Yeah. And I'm like, why does Nikki Bella have to come on John Cena's last Royal
Hey,
Rumble? Like, why is she
those
trying to?
lawyer fees caught
The
up to
hell?
her.
What are
The
we
lawyer
doing here?
fees caught
Come
up
on.
to her.
hey, no comment, no comment, no comment.
Hey, no comment. No comment.
But yeah, I mean, it
No comment.
really, I it doesn't really do anything for me. Like my brain goes like, okay, like where does it go from here? Like, is she the one to go face Tiffany Stratton? Like, is that something that happens? Um, is she like I don't know. Like it to me, there's just still like a lot of question marks. Like if it was a one and done type deal, like I'm like, okay, like that's fine. Like I'm not like upset about it. But I mean, she has T-shirts out, like she's on the shop. Her
Yeah, I
promo
don't
video
think it
after the
was.
Rumble.
Yeah, they
Uh,
even her shirts are even at the Rumble store at the afterwards. I guess the day after the last day for that big store that they did, they
yeah, and
even
then
had
she
her
put out
merch
like
there
a
now.
promo, like a little
So
like a video. I don't know if it was pre or before or after the Rumble, but kind of like talking about like, oh, like see you soon or like stuff like that. So like I guess it's just a matter of like where is she gonna be placed like on the card? Because even when she was leaving WWE or when she was deep in the WWE run, I was never really a big fan of the Bellas. Um, I was more on the opposite side of like the four horsewomen, Bailey, Charlotte, Sasha, those women. Um, so the Bellas never really did it for me. Um, but yeah, what do you think about that, Jim? Bro, you excited for a Nikki Bella run?
I saw somebody tweet that her versus Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. I think that'd be a good little feud right there. I think I see her working that mid carder, elevating like a title like that. Not saying winning it, but kind of giving it a little bit of credibility.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing too. Like, I really didn't like think about that. Now that we do have the mid card titles with both the IC, even though they have not done absolutely, they have yet to do anything with Lyra. Yeah, they've done
the
absolutely nothing with
disrespect to
Lyra
Lyra
with that IC
Valkyria
title.
is
Chelsea,
real
on
right
the
now.
opposite hand, is a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind a Chelsea Green and Nikki Bella little feud there. That'd be pretty fun to watch moving forward on like a WrestleMania bout or something. Hopefully, they don't disrespect the women's titles and give it like a multi women match. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that's kind of like the way I was feeling about it, seeing her like in the mid card, the mid tier.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. So I don't know if she goes inside a program like that, maybe my mind will change on her. But yeah, when I saw her return, I was like that's what we're pointing at 30. That's what we're doing here.
I know they could have definitely flipped her and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, if Alexa came in at 30, that would have been like, dude, she got the pop. She got one of like the biggest pops of the night. Like she arguably got one of the biggest pops of the night
Yeah,
between
she
like
did.
all the rumbles in general. So yeah, that was
And I didn't even realize it too. But her last appearance was at the Rumble when it was
damn.
here in
She's
San
been gone for
Antonio.
that long. I know
And she
she's
fought
out for a hot
Bianca.
minute, but damn, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I said January 2023, and I was like, and then when I looked it up, yeah, it said that it was the Rumble. That's just that she returned at the
Oh,
event that she was last
Damn.
at. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
she
damn, it's
was
been
gone
that
for a
long.
while. I know she was
But
gone for a hot minute, but I didn't know
crazy.
it was that much. But yeah, shout out to her. Hopefully she gets a good program on Raw. Again, if she's on Raw, hopefully she gets a good program. That would have nice to see her with the Wyatt Six, even though they've been absent since they've gone to SmackDown. I think the rumor is, I know we talked about it yesterday. Like there's an injury right on one of them, but we don't know who it is.
They haven't said who it is, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
but yep, that was a women's rumble. Again, not a bad rumble. Could have been a better winner for sure, 100%. But hey, it could have been a lot worse. Now this next match here, Jim Bro, you can't really say much on it because you fucking took a nap during this match.
it was a literal snooze fest for me. I took a nap. I woke up. I woke up. I woke
The
up and
disrespect
thought
to tag team
the
wrestling.
Pretty Deadly I won the titles. My brother had convinced me that the Pretty Deadly came out, cashed in some sort of Money in the Bank, and they won the titles. And I was like, dang, like that's crazy.
I was like, yeah, like as soon as you left, they introduced the tag team Money in the Bank, and then they cashed it
Hey,
in
actually, not a
on
bad idea.
DIY.
Money,
It's
tag
crazy.
team, Money in the Bank. Hey.
But from what I did hear, though, I
Tag
did
team
hear
Money
a
in the
lot
Bank.
of the crowd reaction to that match wasn't very good. From what I heard or what I saw.
I think it's also hard to follow like after the Rumble, like you've been sitting down for like an hour more than likely, so you got to get up, move around. So it's just one of those awkward spots that they just have to go on after. So, but I mean, I thought it was a good match. I liked it. Um, I'm pretty sure it was cut a little bit shorter because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, maybe the Rumble went a little longer. Like going back to Women's Rumble, like god damn, like how long did it take Charlotte Flair to get to the damn ring, and then like even when she got in the ring, like I swear to God, I felt like somebody should have came out already, and it was like another like 2-3 minutes. I'm like, it's been way longer. So, um, but yeah, they had some cool spots, and then of course I think we see like I don't know if you consider it like a heel turn for the Street Profits or more of like a I guess like their frustration, because I know there's been rumblings backstage that they're not happy with their position and stuff like that, which makes sense. Like they're a good tag team, I like them, and they're constantly like either being like stepped on like for another tag team to jump them or something like that. But I think even like the dirt sheets got that one wrong too, because they're like, oh, like the Street Profits are out of action because Angelo Jackson is on crutches, which he was, but I think it was kayfabe. So yeah, but other than that, it was a pretty decent match. Just gonna see what. I guess we'll see where they go with this. I don't know if that automatically puts the Street Profits like into the title hunt. You still got Pretty Deadly, and then you got Tama Tonga. He was a at the tag team titles on Friday. So yeah, the tag team division's cooking. So I like it. The tag team division is cooking a little bit more better than it is on Raw. I feel like you never see the Raw tag team champions. So, but that's a pious
Yeah,
pod.
I know we were kind of talking. I think we talked about it last episode too. That we said that it was like a sleeper match because I think we both thought they could potentially steal a show. Did it steal a show? I wouldn't go that crazy, but it definitely was a good 2 out of 3 between Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. Went the opposite of what we thought. I think we had it. They get Motor Machine Gun get the first pinfall, and then DIY get the next 2, but it went the exact opposite. Motor City getting the first 2. One, and then DIY getting the next 2. Oh wait, did that way happen? Wait, no, DIY got the first one. Yes, yeah, and then they
no DIY got first, and then it was Motor City. Yeah,
but yeah, I think it was overall a good match. It did what it's supposed to do. It brings back the Street Profits back into the picture, kind of like what you mentioned there. Because if you look at it from their perspective, like Motor City came in and they got a title match within like the first week they were here, and they were tag champs like less than a month. When Street Profits have been, weeks, kind of like busting their ass doing this and that. So I think it's easily playable into that story where they can then do a 3 tag team feud program or whatever, kind of gear up for. It seems like every WrestleMania they do that multi-man tag match. So kind of get ready for that. Kind of like you mentioned there, the tag team title picture is heating up a little bit, hitting up a little bit better on SmackDown than it is on Raw. So maybe as we get closer to WrestleMania season, gearing up for that. But yeah, overall, that was a good match. I love heel DIY. They kind of still showed that they're in it to do it. Highly recommend Jim Bro if you ever watch any. They have the NXT Vault channel now on YouTube. Go look up some DIY stuff. You're a little youngin when NXT was cooking during that time. So go look.
I don't think I was watching wrestling at that time.
I think you were watching, but I don't know if you were watching like
what year.
You probably weren't.
What year was the golden era or the gold era of NXT?
Like 15,
like
16,
16.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was watching then. I was watching, but just like main roster stuff, PLEs, nothing.
Yeah. But NXT back then wasn't on TV. I don't think it was. I think it was just on the network, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and they used to film it at the Full Sail University, and then they hit the road. That was like, that's when like Kevin Owens was down there, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe was down there. Who else was down there?
Was it?
It really took off. I think like when Adam Cole got there in the Undisputed Era. That's when it really
go look up some DIY. Go look up DIY versus the Vaudevillains, Alpha Academy, the Ascension, the Revival,
DIY versus
now
the Revival,
which is who else
FTR.
Was down there?
Was that when like Finn and Shinsuke were down
Murphy?
There?
Yeah, Shinsuke was down there.
Bobby
Roode was down there.
Trying to think.
Yeah. I don't remember what takeover it is, but I don't know if it might have been one of the takeover Dallas, where they had the Revival versus DIY when they first won the tag team titles. I don't know if it was takeover Dallas, but you got to go watch that.
Yeah, it might have been Dallas.
Crazy good.
It might have been Dallas.
It's wild. I know it was one of the takeovers. I just can't remember.
That's your homework for tonight. After this podcast over, go watch some DIY stuff.
We'll feed families.
That stuff on NXT Vault absolutely cooks. But yeah, overall solid match here. Heading off to the other solo match.
I don't know if we missed it, but did y'all even rank the match? You did the ranking for the first match.
Oh yeah, we gotta. I'll give it 3 stars.
I give it like a
A little
3.5.
B minus. Yeah,
A
fast
little
pace.
B
It moves
minus
pretty
maybe.
well. Had some good spots, high spots.
Yeah.
Had your close finishes. Yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5. Jim, bro, you got a rate on this match? NA.
I give it a nap out of 5.
But yeah, overall, again, solid match. So let's head off to what I think is probably might be a potential 5-star out of all of us. Well, we'll hear the ratings here right now. But we got Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match. Before we go over the spots and the finish, let's give our ratings here. What do we got on this rating of this ladder match?
Easily a 5. That was definitely a 5 because it wasn't a ladder match I was expecting. I was expecting, the climbing, the almost getting the bell fall, almost getting the bell punches, but that was a heavy hitter match. I did not expect an ending like that. And y'all know my feeling towards Cody Rhodes. Like I'm a on the fence type of Cody guy. Like I like him some days, I don't like him some days. I like him some days, I don't. But after that match right there, that definitely got me on like the Cody train. Like just the I wouldn't say he's going to a heel turn, but he's definitely going more towards a menacing turn. And then when I saw the ending where he had the both belts holding up when Kevin Owens was all bloodied, I was like, dude, that's hard. That was a hard ending. Like just that picture alone. So I definitely give that a 5 stars because it wasn't your typical ladder match in WWE the last 3-4 years. It was something. It was a little special.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. But yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, there wasn't really a lot of like ladder climbing like there usually is. Now that I think about it, we had a good little reintroduction of the WLC ladder, so that was that was pretty funny. And then my God, dude, that Alabama slam on that damn ladder, dude, that looked pretty gnarly. And I don't know if you
Yeah,
caught it, but like Nick Aldis did like the X, like I don't know if you saw it, but so I don't know if that was legit or not, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It was a
Yeah,
good
I
match. I
think I'm
liked it.
pushing like the 4.5, like the 5 scale. Because yeah, like you mentioned there, Jim Bro, it kind of was like there was no climbing of the ladder too much. I don't even think did Kevin even climb the ladder like to go for the belt? Maybe like once or twice. Um, I know Cody you only really did it a couple of handful of times too. Um, I think it was just really just built on that storyline of like these two absolutely hate each other and they want to kill each other. Um, so I think that ring dynamic of using of the ladders, the weapons, whatever the case may be, I think it definitely played into that. And they had some like crazy spots here. Like I don't know what that like spine buster off the top rope where like I think Kevin got more of a damage on that.
oh yeah,
His head hit the back of the ladder. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and yeah, it was just like a nasty little spot. And then yeah, like you mentioned there, Jim Bro, I think Cody is officially on his Homelander tour because there's that funny meme where he was like, I've ever seen that meme where like he's like everybody's all clapping for him. He's like, all right, and it's like with kind of that same picture where Cody's on the table, type of the table, and they put that as Cody, and then like I think there's another one too where Homelander's all like bloody and he's like smiling like an elevator or something like that. They're
yeah,
saying that's
yeah.
Cody right now. Um, because yeah, he's definitely on his Homelander. I think his Homelander tour, his redemption or whatever his arc, I should say. Um, I think the weird thing for me, and I guess maybe it's adding on to more of the story, with Sami Zayn being there. I get it, but he really didn't get involved. So I don't know what y'all felt about not Cody, Sammy being there in the middle of kind of like towards the end of it.
Yeah, I think like him, like not really doing anything is probably gonna like fuel like the little fire probably for Kevin. Like, oh, like you were there, but you didn't help me with the title, and all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure we're headed down another Sammy and KO feud probably. 'Cause I don't remember when they last fought when they had that last big match. I think it was that I want to say Payback. I don't know why a couple of years ago. So it's been a hot minute, and then of course, obviously, they won the tag team titles from the Usos at WrestleMania. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if they go down another feud. And obviously, those two guys work really well together. So it'll be another banger if they fight again at WrestleMania. But yeah, I think him not doing anything probably fuels a little bit more fire to the story.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up I'm trying to look up on a quick little search when exactly was the last time that they faced each other, but I'm not seeing uh anything here. Yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm not really seeing too much here. But yeah, I was kind of in the same a little bit of an area here. Jim, bro, do you got anything on the Sami Zayn involvement?
Yeah, like you already touched on. I think it's just going to lead to Kevin versus Sammy at WrestleMania. Kind of have them too, because like other than the Bloodline storyline, I don't know where Sammy fits right now. He's just one of those guys, or he's in this storyline, that storyline. He's just in a little bit of everything. So I could definitely see that them two leading to like a WrestleMania.
Dude, the amount of stress that Sami Zayn has right now on him is like ridiculous. He's kicking people left and right. He's involved in this, and that. But yeah, I think you kind of nailed it here. I think he's kind of like up in the air right now, where he's involved in a lot of different storylines and different touches, but it's not really cemented. So I think this is a good way to kind of cement his moment at WrestleMania. Because yeah, I don't believe they've had a WrestleMania match together, both one on one. So I think this year can be, if it's night one, night two, whatever the case may be, I think it'll be a good little segue for them to get involved in a WrestleMania segment. And they definitely don't need a belt to be involved. So they never need the World Heavyweight Championship, things like that. I don't know. Maybe Sammy, Cody go at each other in Elimination Chamber. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What is that the next pay per view? Is that the last pay per view before
Yeah. In March.
WrestleMania?
Yeah, that's the last.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too, Cody versus
March
Sammy,
1st.
because then it'll be one of those things where Cody was mad at Sammy for being there helping Kevin Owens after all the crap he's put him through.
Yeah. That. And then like kind of also plays into last year's Mania as well. Or damn, my timelines are all jacked. When did Sammy and Roman face each other at Elimination? Was it last year? No, 2 years ago, right? 2023, yes, 2023. So kind of
2023.
play into that again, so you kind of like hint
Yeah.
on that little story.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely, I think there's definitely a lot of history between them two, so you can kind of definitely go that route, give something for Cody as he gets into WrestleMania season and see potentially who he faces at WrestleMania, because now that seems like that's even a little bit more up in the air, which I think is a perfect transition to the men's Royal Rumble. Well, once again, we'll go off the same way we've been leading it off here. What's the rating for the men's Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I'm like that 4.5 ish area. Like I said, like we talked about it for a little bit at the beginning. I think this was the first time in the last like 3 years that the men's was actually better than the women's. We obviously got our predictions wrong again on this one, so we had CM Punk winning this one, and then unfortunately he got thrown out by Logan Paul. So I don't think he was too happy about that.
Jim, bro, what do you got on the rating there of this year's Royal Rumble?
But no, but it was really good. I mean, I was tweeting like a madman. I think at one point I was tweeting like a madman. I was like, at one point, like I was just like, dude, it's so crazy that like John Cena's in the ring with like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Like, so moments wise, like stuff like that. And then you had like that cool that screenshot of Roman looking at Seth. Like, I think that one that's going, and somebody on Twitter was like, somebody needs to give that cameraman a raise. But yeah, I mean, moment wise, they had a lot. And there's, I don't know, there's like so many stories that they probably can go from here. Like, yeah.
Speaking of that shot, I saw a funny
interesting
tweet
to see
that
how they
reminded
go.
me of you, Jim, bro. It was like, I guess the girlfriend was asking the boyfriend like, what's going on here, and then he put, "There's too much lore."
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that
I
was
did see
definitely with
that.
you yesterday.
That was me. I had to break down the lore in like 15 minutes, and I still didn't even cover most of it.
Oh God,
Uh,
I did see that one. That was funny, and I thought the same thing too. I'm like, geez, I was like, do you have all day?
Yeah,
to
no,
get
I was
into
like,
this?
I saw that tweet. Like, reminded me of that situation. But yeah, I would be in the same boat. Sorry, my audio was kind of in and out, so I didn't know if Jim, bro, if you got a rating there. Do you got a rating on the Rumble?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it maybe like a 4.2, because I'm gonna be that guy to nitpick. But there was a lot of things in it that I personally didn't like. I didn't like that Logan Paul was top three. I didn't like that. I didn't like honestly. Well, I do think that Drew McIntyre should have been a little bit longer, and I do think they should have threw him in the spot where Seth Rollins and CM Punk and they all got eliminated. I do think they should have threw him in that spot instead because they're all interlinked. You could have had the four of them all beating up each other in that spot. Uh,
Well, maybe that's the
So
rumblings that we've been hearing. So
what's
if you,
I've been seeing it. Is he mad that he got eliminated early, or he's mad that it was distracted? Because like I watched the clip, and it seems like
I think that's what it is. I think so. I think from what I read, that he says that there was somebody in the Rumble that was just trying to get like reactions, and I guess I don't know if maybe that distracted him, and I guess maybe he like guess maybe missed a spot or something, and he actually got eliminated. I have to go back
I
and
was about to
watch when
say
he
I
got
don't.
eliminated. 'Cause I haven't seen it again. But yeah, it would make sense though if he was part of that elimination group with Rollins, Reigns, and Punk, because yeah, he's intertwined with all three of those guys, so that would make sense. And so maybe that's why he's pissed. I don't know that now he's not in those and all that rumblings
But
there. I
even
don't know.
then, like, it was if Damian Priest knew he wasn't supposed to throw him out, why do you have to throw him out? Because he threw him out clean. It wasn't like an accidental throw. Like he Damian Priest did throw him out clean.
because I had thought that
Hmm.
because if you watch the clip again, like Logan is an LA Knight kind of get in the way, and they kind of bump into each other, and then that's when he gets thrown out. So I don't know if that spot of like McIntyre and Priest was supposed to happen, but it got shadowed away because Priest, I mean, LA Knight and Logan were like somewhat involved. I really don't know. I've read the report or like saw the tweets, but like to me, just doesn't make any sense as far as why he's, if it's true. Obviously, we don't know if it's true or not, but obviously everything that we've heard on the internet these days, you can't really believe what's on the internet. But if it is true,
Yeah, and as I'm reading
yeah,
it, it was
that
reported
guy.
by Dave Meltzer. So take that with a grain of salt.
But yeah, so I read it. I was like, to me, it doesn't really make any sense, and like I don't know. It was just really just kind of confusing to me, in my opinion.
Actually, I haven't seen nobody actually named the wrestler who it is, but just reading this
Hey, I
article,
heard LA
it
Knight
makes
or
it seem like it's
Penta.
LA Knight.
Was Penta still in it? Well, yeah, he was still in the match, right, at that time.
Because it says, yeah, it says cited sources believe McIntyre was upset about LA Knight's errant movement when he interrupted the planned elimination with Drew and Priest. It was noted that Knight's name was brought up regarding McIntyre. Furthermore, Johnson wrote that WWE sources have been in contact with McIntyre, and sources played down the situation as they felt that they could be tweaked their wrists. I don't know what that word is, but it kind of makes it sound like it's LA Knight. Yeah, it says the report noted that McIntyre and Damon Priest were going to start an angle, but they felt the momentum was lost when LA Knight got in the way as Priest was eliminating McIntyre. It was said the top
Yeah,
guys wanted things to go smoothly and
guess
have their
I don't
story
know.
executed as planned.
I mean, I guess, yeah, because yeah, I have to go
I
back
don't
and
know.
watch it.
I'd have to go back.
But yeah, Jim Bro kind of brings up a good point because I don't. Yeah, he wasn't really involved with those guys, and obviously that was the big part of the storyline, or has been the big part of the last storyline for the last year or so of his involvement with everything and getting his hands on Roman. Obviously, he did have his moment with Roman, but being part of that final four, final five, I think could have gone a little bit better for McIntyre, and kind of drive those storylines a little bit more. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm probably like at a 4.5, not a 4.2, but at a 4.5. There are some good spots, some good little surprises. Obviously we're playing that game here, so at number 5,
Speed.
the ISOs, dude. I don't know how many times I've watched
My
that
God.
that little clip of that moment. It's
I don't skip it. I have to watch it every time I've
it's
seen it.
so
It's so
fucking funny.
funny, dude.
It's so
He got
fucking
hit
funny.
so hard. And I'm sure Braun had a little extra like motivation to
And
hit
shout
the
out to
shit out of
ISO
him
Speed for
to-
having his first official Topps Now card, which you can go buy officially on Topps.com. So if you want to go buy his first ever trading card and you have the opportunity to get a Speed autograph, you can go buy his Topps Now card, or you can get the image variation of him with the crutch and the neck brace. But yeah, no, that spot was freaking funny. I watched it from both angles. Obviously, we were watching it live, and then obviously he was live streaming the whole thing. So he was backstage and kind of seeing him go through with his little cameraman. Yeah, it was fucking funny. So shout out to ISO Speed. I was telling Mrs. Moon 3PO, like, anytime a celebrity gets involved, they always get ridiculed in WWE. But if you can come into wrestling and you can either, one, take a hell of a bump, or two, can actually wrestle, you'll get your flowers. If you're a celebrity, if you can take a bump or if you can wrestle. And he definitely got his flowers. But
it was funny seeing Otis throw him too. Like I thought maybe it was like
just
he
threw his
just like yeeted him out.
But I was going to talk about is that, yeah, I mean, it had its good little moments, good returns. We were playing that game, and my number was 15. So seeing Joe Hendry be debuted in the Royal Rumble had his moment, even though he got eliminated by Roman Reigns, but got interacted with a tribal chief. And then we had AJ Styles returning with the original OG theme song. Thank God. I think this Rumble was also a live example of how bad Def Rebel is, because, man, nobody knew who the hell their theme songs were. It's so bad. You could watch wrestling religiously and you hear that theme song, like, who the fuck is that? It's so bad.
Finn Balor's theme song was the worst.
Yeah,
out of all of them. That was terrible.
So bad.
I was trying to think. I was like, "Who the hell is this?" And I realized it was Finn after I saw the Titron, where it has like the F and then like the 3 X's. But yeah, dude, like even when he came out here, like no
So
pop
bad,
because nobody
so
knew who
bad.
the hell it was.
And then personally, my
that's like
favorite
used to
spot
go-
was, I mean, I still acknowledge my tribal chief, but seeing Braun Breaker spear Roman Reigns, that was pretty badass. Because that's going to be for sure a future match. That's going to be one of those passing the torches match. Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the shot of him
Yeah,
too.
no, he speared the crap out of him. And then I think it's no question Braun Breaker has a better spear than Roman.
No, he has a better spear because he's younger and because he's quicker. That's why. But the aura behind Roman Reigns' spear is unbeatable.
So aura points is more to Roman.
Yeah, aura points more to Roman, but if you're gonna go off just sheer speed and just like he's gonna kill somebody, it's gonna go to Braun Breaker.
Yeah, no, I kept telling Mrs. Moon 3PO, look how fast he hits the ropes. That dude, the way he just hits the ropes is fucking crazy. Ridiculous on the speed that he hits the ropes.
And just a quick second to glaze my tribal chief. He looked majestic in the Royal Rumble too, with his hair all looking like a tiger out there. He's just looking majestic.
So now you know officially we got a Roman Reigns glazer on this pod. You're never gonna hear a bad word coming out of Jim Bro's mouth talking about Roman Reigns. Of course, this is a pod that we do acknowledge our tribal chief here. We're not going to disdain anything. No bad words are going to come from our tribal chief. Other good spots, obviously the 1 and 2 spot, Penta Mysterio. That was a pretty good spot. I don't know. I haven't seen the clip yet. If Penta's feet touched the floor,
They touched the floor. They touched the floor.
They did. I didn't.
Yeah,
I honestly have not gone back and see it.
Yeah,
Even if it is, I like to do like the
yeah.
little Men in Black thing. Like, oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Another terrible spot, in my opinion, we kind of already touched on this a little bit, was the Fatu getting eliminated by Braun Strowman, because I feel like that just defeated the whole purpose of main event, of him destroying him at main event, and then he just comes back a week later and eliminates him. Like, and then I give Fatu honestly MVP of the Rumble. Like he kept it entertaining. He looked pretty good out there, but just for him to get eliminated by Braun Strowman, that just
That was
definitely one of my
critiques.
Yeah, maybe they'll have like a match at the Chamber, or yeah, if it's going down that road, maybe they'll have like have like all those gimmicky like Extreme Rule matches. Maybe there'll be like a monster rules,
Big
or
SOB
bullshit
rules,
like that.
big swappy meat. Throw Otis in there for shits and giggles.
You know the.
Now,
Oh yeah,
I want to touch upon it here before we touch upon the winner here. Obviously, we had the John Cena spots, all that kind of good stuff. His return, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. And Bropio, you kind of touched upon it here on your winner when you're talking about CM Punk. But let's talk about that spot. We have Roman, we have Rollins kind of tangling with each other there on that little rope there. and then we have Punk eliminating them both, and then of course we have Logan Paul eliminating CM Punk. Obviously, I think we were all pretty disappointed that Paul eliminated Punk after Punk's comments. I don't know if maybe that was to set up something. Hopefully not. After CM Punk made those comments at Kevin Owens, so now Kevin Owens kind of has some words back with Paul, or maybe Paul has something now with Punk. I don't know. So hopefully that does not happen. But there were some rumblings there on the internet today, the IWC on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that this sets up a match between them three of Punk, Roman, and Rollins. I will say it right now, I do not want to see that. I think Roman and right?
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Like why like them three would be in a triple threat. Like I don't know. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, and like
I would assume one of them is gonna probably be the like you could see them fighting for the title against Cody, like at the chamber.
because I would say like if you're gonna do a match with them three, or have those talents involved, like I think the story makes sense is Roman and Rollins, like they haven't faced each other since 2021, 2022. Again, my timeline's all janked at the Royal Rumble. And even then, Roman didn't beat Rollins. He choked him out with that little I forget what that move's called, but he choked him out, and like it was like a DQ. It was a DQ finish. So they haven't really faced each other since that time. Obviously, they had the tag team matches. They've had their history since then. But like if we're gonna do a match, it's gonna be between them two. I don't see how Punk being involved with that would do anything. And then the part that I thought too, like, oh man, that kind of broke the heart a little bit. With I don't know if you saw the clip where Roman's talking to Punk, and Roman was like, "Why did you do that?" He's like, "You guys, like, we just tag teamed a month ago." I don't know if y'all saw that clip. You didn't see that clip? They're like talking to each
I don't
other,
think I've seen it.
and then Roman. It's right before Roman gets double foot curb stomped by Seth Rollins.
Double stomped.
Roman's talking to Punk, and Roman tells him, you can like read the words, and he kind of talks loud enough like the camera picks it up, where Roman tells him like, "Why would you do that? Like we literally just teamed up a month ago." And then from there, that's when he gets curb stomped, and then the whole brawl happens. I'll send you the clip later. But yeah, I thought that part was a little interesting. And then obviously there's Mrs. Moonthroop. You had to show me. I didn't even see it yesterday, where Seth Rollins flicks off Paul Heyman, and
I saw that,
and then he curb stomps him again. I was like, God damn. But yeah, I kind of want to get y'all's opinion on that really quickly, because yeah, I saw that kind of being thrown around. I was like, I hope that's not the direction they go. I do not want to see that. Reigns, Rollins, I'm all for it, but I think Punk needs to do something with involving a main event, and if that's Cody or whoever.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think because I think probably, as we're probably gonna get into it now, about who won the Royal Rumble, Jey Uso. I'm assuming he's going after Gunther, and I think he's even already like kind of mentioned him already. I think he did it like at the media thing afterwards, where he says like I know I can beat him and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's the route that they're gonna go. Because Jey versus Cody doesn't make sense. Like two your big baby faces going up against each other probably won't happen. But so yeah, I don't know. I would think Punk versus Cody would still do good numbers, and there's history obviously there, and that'll make Tony Khan sweat bullets knowing that these two guys he had him.
Yeah, I just don't see it going that direction, because then it's like I don't want to see Cody versus John Cena, because then it's like if that's going to be the triple threat, then John Cena has to win the Elimination Chamber, and it just back to the same thing. You're just going to see two baby faces again, and John Cena's not the same in the ring, so it's I hope they don't go that direction of the triple threat match.
Yeah. And so that leads up here, kind of we just touched upon it here a little bit. Jey Uso winning the men's Royal Rumble, and the stars are aligning where he is going to be facing Gunther at WrestleMania. Now, Bro Pio and I, of course, we had CM Punk win it, but Jim Bro, from the rumblings I heard from the household yesterday, you said don't sleep on Jey Uso, and he ended up winning. What was the logic behind that? Because myself, and I think millions of other people did not have Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble.
So I told Bro P, I was like, the obvious winners here, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. Like, those were the obvious guys. And then I remember telling, I was like, there's a dark horse though, and that's Jey Uso. And you're saying it out loud. I was like, even me, I'm like, nah. Like, I don't think they would give him that spot. And then you've had the final two, John Cena, Jey Uso, and then I definitely thought, nah, he ain't gonna get it. But I'm still firm. I had a whole night to think about this, and I still think John Cena should have won the Rumble. The inner child me said John Cena should win that Rumble. And just to prove my point of my loyalty to John Cena, let's see if I can pull it up super fast. But yeah, I was like, the inner child of me was rooting for John Cena. And I know he hadn't won nothing. And I know he hadn't won a match, but I think that would have built up the storyline of, you don't win, but you win the big one. That's all that matters. You win the big one, and then you can get yourself punch your ticket to WrestleMania.
John Cena's to be playing that underdog role
Look,
for,
look.
I think, honestly, like he has one last
I don't know
mountain
if
to
I can
climb,
even
I guess
get it
if you
on
want to
here.
call it.
Oh wait, hold on.
You gotta turn the brightness all the way
This
down.
was rooting for John Cena. Close enough. You can get the picture. Oh, there we go. There.
There it is.
For the YouTube listeners or watchers, or for the audio listeners, Jim Bro just showed him a picture of like what year would you say that is? Like 2006,
I
7
look.
maybe.
I look like 5 here, so maybe like 2007, 2006.
Yeah, it's 2006, 2007. That's around that time of him dressed up as John Cena on Halloween. I was dressed up as Rey Mysterio that year. But yeah, I'll quickly say I wasn't mad that he won. I'm actually happy that he won. Like, I think again, it could have been something completely worse. But I think in this one,
Like,
like there's no wrong winner. Like, you had so many different options that you could have gone. You could have done the Roman route. I think that was a little bit more predictable, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's like the more predictable option, and then him go do Cody again and go do that 3 years in a row if you really wanted to do that. There's the Punk route where he's never won a Royal Rumble. We know what happened last year. He's never main evented a WrestleMania, so you have that story. You have John Cena, who, like we see here, he's on his last retirement tour. This is it for him, and it seems like in that post press conference, like I think he was playing a little bit more of an emotional John Cena. If he this and that, if that's him just acting, or maybe it's personally just hitting him a little bit more. Like, it looked like that was the most emotional that we've seen John Cena in a long time. So obviously you have that story. So I feel like there was really no wrong. There's no wrong way that you can go, and there's no denying the last year and a half that Jey Uso has had with WWE. He has a connection with the fans that I think right now is tough to get, and definitely like maybe comparable to Cody does not have, or does have. His merch from what we see online, his card stuff, it moves. He's part of all the promotional press. He had that little short icy title reign before getting involved with the bloodline again. So it seems like to me this is more of like you've worked your ass off this last year and a half. Here you go, and let's see what we can do with it again, and let's ride. And I think the only negative thing I saw from like internet fans, which so fickle. Everybody was.
I was about to say that too. I was like, I was actually kind of surprised to see all the hate that he was getting to win it. I'm like, really? Like, I'm like, y'all are the same motherfuckers that are
you'll
there
never make a
yeeting and
wrestling fan
throwing your
happy.
hands up
You'll
and
never
down.
make a
Like,
wrestling fan happy.
when do you see him?
From what I saw and from what I was reading too, is like from the people that were actually there, like everybody was happy. Like, from what everybody was saying, like everybody was yeeting.
Yeah.
They were happy that he won. I think it was more of like the internet wrestling crowd again, where it's like you were rooting for him a couple months ago to beat Gunther. Now he has the opportunity to do it again, and now you're upset about it because Punk.
I was just rooting for him on Saturday.
I think that was the only thing that I saw that like kind of made a little bit of sense, but I'm like, it's still like it's not enough for me to ignore it. Was like him, like if he was gonna win the Royal Rumble, like if he had that plan, like what was the point of him and going fighting Gunther again, or like having him fight Gunther 2 weeks ago. But I think it once again adds to that storyline of like, you couldn't beat me the first time. Like, what makes you think you're going to beat me again? So to me, from a storyline standpoint, adds on to it.
It's actually
Yeah.
he's 0-2 against Gunther. He lost the
Yeah, he's
the
0-2. I
Intercontinental
did not
match
think about
too.
that. He's 0-2 against Gunther.
Yeah.
So like even that Brett's even more
Yeah.
perfect, adding more to it. Like, you couldn't beat me for the mid card title. You couldn't beat me 2 weeks ago, and now you really think you're going to be able to beat me at WrestleMania? Like you really think that's going to happen? I don't think so. So I think it adds.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting though if they do go that route, and if they obviously do go with Jay winning at WrestleMania, which I feel like I don't want to say they have to, but I feel like it's going to happen. It's gonna be interesting to see like Gunther like once again like he loses at WrestleMania, like he obviously lost to Sammy last year with his historic IC title run, and then he's gonna lose again to Zayn to Jey Uso. So I don't know, it'd be pretty interesting to see if that's the route they
Yeah,
do go.
I think you said that yesterday too. I think you brought that up. I was like, yeah, let's be 2 years in a row where he has to put somebody over. Hopefully, Jey Uso does win, so I can get some. For those that don't know, I have you don't see it on the background here, but I have the World Heavyweight title replica. So, and mine has the interchangeable side plates. So when Jey Uso gets some side plates, some Jey Uso
Get some
side
Jey
plates on that
Uso
World Heavyweight
plates.
Championship, ooh, that'll look good on my belt.
Well, she should have side plates already for
Yeah,
the IC
they're all the
title.
same side
Would they
plates. It's
fit
the
on that,
circle
or
side
is
plates.
it?
They should all fit.
But see, I'm a man of
Uh-huh.
like, I want it to be like when you win. Like, if I were to get
But
CM Punk side
okay,
plates, like maybe that would have worked a year ago, because he
Yeah.
probably would have fought, or not probably. It's been confirmed that he was going to fight Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. If he would have won, then he would have had CM Punk side plates. I would have put that on my belt. But you can't throw Jey Uso side plates on a World Heavyweight Championship that he hasn't won it yet.
Just buy them and just put them away in the closet. Then once he wins, you can change them out right then and there.
So then it gets back to the question though. If they do go the triple threat route, the triple threat match with Punk, Rollins and Roman, who does Cody fight? Like who's gonna fight Cody? They can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I don't
That's
think
why I
they
don't
can.
think
They'll put themselves
it'll
against
go
the
that
wall
route.
because I think it's too late to do a Randy feud. And I'm like, where is Randy?
Yeah.
Is he really hurt, or is it just part of the storyline?
I don't know. I thought he was gonna come back last night.
Yeah, so
honestly, at the Rumble.
he was on my list of surprise.
But yeah, I have no idea where he's at.
I mean, I think if you're gonna do it, me being biased, because obviously you guys know we're all Punk homers here, but I think the storyline is with Punk and Cody.
And does Punk go over at Mania?
I don't think so.
Punk and Cody at WrestleMania, that's tearing me apart. Just thinking about that.
I won't be able to sleep.
I don't know, because I guess we'll quickly, because who's gonna fill out the chamber? It's Cena, Punk.
I think Roman too.
McIntyre probably.
Roman, Rollins.
Yeah.
And there's one more spot?
Rollins. I mean, you could throw Sammy in there if you want.
If he's not involved, yeah.
Like to be that chamber's gonna feed families too.
But of course, is there anything else that we missed from that men's Royal Rumble? I'm trying to think of everything that happened. I feel like a lot happened, and I don't want to miss anything.
I think we hit all the. Yeah, we hit all the. The only person who returned was AJ. We hit that.
Joe Hendry. Yeah, that was it, right?
No, yeah, we think we. Yeah, Joe Hendry. Yeah, which I saw the internet mad about that too. That he wasn't in the Rumble for that long. I'm like,
and same thing with him. And now he's been getting
Jesus
some hate
Christ.
on the internet. Like, I do not get it. I do not get it.
You'll never believe. Like I said, you'll never satisfy a wrestling fan. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I was yeeting that main event for him to win, and now I'm pissed off that he won the Royal Rumble. I'm one of those wrestling fans.
Yeah, you're part of the fickle fan base.
Fickle.
But that is our recap of the Royal Rumble. I think. Or how do now we've done all the matches? How are we overall? Did we overall rate the card? How do we overall rate this year's Royal Rumble?
It was a good A- show.
I just
A
give it
B
an A
plus.
flat.
It was
An
good.
A
I
flat.
liked it.
Yeah, I'll give it a flat. Just a 4.5 out of 5. I'll give it a good O.
It was
Uh,
it was a good rumble. It was a good rumble.
yeah, it really was a good Rumble. Kudos to that. Yeah, it was probably my tops last year for sure. I would say. I would be. Are we agreeing on that? Better than last year's?
For sure. For sure that it's for sure
So
better than
I
the
can't really remember
men's.
last year's honestly now. I think it was also the one that like this Rumble was also I think for both the women and the men. Like we really didn't know like who was gonna win it. Like obviously the past last year we knew Cody was. We're probably more than sure that Cody was gonna
And
win it.
Bailey, I remember y'all had Bailey winning
Um,
too. So
so
Yeah, yeah. We hit the.
shit, who did I have winning
yeah.
last year for the women's? I know it wasn't Bailey.
Yeah, I remember winning. I remember picking Bailey because I remember I bought some Bailey autograph cards and like relic cards, and then I had them saved, and I bought them for like dirt cheap, and then I sold them on eBay for like the next couple of days for like 35, $50. So I made a little quick little 2.5x, 3x. Oh, also shout out to the people who started watching my Jada Parker card. Shout out to you guys. Had 2 watches on that card. Had 2 watches on
You
that card,
freaks.
and after, of course, she debuts, jumps up to 6 watches. So shout out to you guys for watching out that for watching and following that card, which is a good transition here. Obviously, Jim Bro, I know you have been dabbling, not too much dabbling into some of the cards here, but we had our official release of 2025 Topps Chrome WWE release. Now I know we're pushing over an hour, so and there hasn't really been too much to talk about as far as of sales, so we'll quickly touch upon it here. But Bro PL, I'll open up the floor to you. I know you got yourself a blaster box. I had the hobby box here. Check out the YouTube video if you guys want to see what I pulled there as far as of a hobby box goes. But a quick little thoughts here on 2025 Topps Chrome WWE. I know we had some little bit of some slight criticism heading into. I know myself, I did. But any quick little thoughts on 2025 Topps Chrome?
Yeah, I mean, I think the card design is pretty clean. Um, I do like it. I'm a pretty big fan. Like we got a nice little Cody Rhodes right there. But yeah, I was able to pick up a blaster box at one of our local card shops here in town. I was unsuccessful in getting a hobby off the Topps website. I was in the movie theater watching Dogman, attempting to buy this box, and it was unsuccessful. So that did not go my way. When I saw the prices of the hobby box, which I think was like what pushing 380 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
If you
like
want to correct me on that,
350,
340.
you can like 300, 350. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a I don't know. That's a rant for another day. But yeah. I mean, when I was opening my box when I opened up the blaster box, I was like, damn. I was like, I got some pretty good hits in it for it being just a little value box. If you go check out the TikTok, I do have a opening of the box on my TikTok account. And I was like, damn, this is pretty loaded. And then as we're seeing like all these videos come out, like a lot has been pulled. Like a lot of the 101s, golden fractors have been pulled. We've seen some inscription autos get pulled. Like I know the CM Punk one got pulled. I know a couple of one of the Rock, the one that has the final boss image in the background. That one of those has been pulled. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I know like the I don't think we've seen obviously people are chasing that Rock Stone Cold dual auto. That one hasn't been pulled, but yeah, I don't know. It's been good so far. The price, like I said, is crazy. So hopefully maybe it'll go down soon. Please, pretty please. But
Yeah,
it's been
some
good.
quick little here. I'm just looking at some of the cards that have been pulled. Again, it is updating daily. So the CM Punk Best in the World inscription has been pulled. We got a nice little title town. Oh, you got Jim Bro's attention there already. He saw the Ula follow and got it real quick from the seat. Kind of going down the list here quickly. What's been pulled? A nice little DIY. There you go, Jim Bro, your favorite tag team.
Jim Bro
At a 99, right, on that one?
Number 99.
So some that have been pulled. The CM Punk Superfractor 101 has been pulled. The main event one has been pulled, I should say. Tiffany Stratton 101 has been pulled. Another CM Punk base 101 has been pulled. Cora Jade has been pulled. A John Cena image variation has been pulled. Let's see here. Dirty Dom autograph 101 has been pulled. Another John Cena, the best in the world inscription, like you just talked about. What else has been pulled? A Cody Rhodes My First Chrome autograph inscription has been pulled. So I know a couple of Helixes have already been pulled. Let's see. A Cody with the American Nightmare inscription. Taking a look at it here. Some Frozen Refractors. So yeah, a lot of cards have already been pulled. So I think once we start getting more of these cards that are being pulled, some of these cards will start, or hopefully some of these prices and hobbies and megas and whatever start going down a little bit in price. Again, if you want to go check out my video, link in this is going to be down description up below. If you're watching on YouTube, you guys can go check out the Moon 3PO channel over on YouTube, so you guys can go check all that. Jim Bro, as you see these cards being pulled, you saw what Bro Peel is showing here. Does that entice you enough to go get yourself maybe a little bit of a little cheap box? Not a hobby. Hobbies are over $100 that we just talked about, but is this enticing you enough? I know you kind of talked about, you saw some cards being ripped. Is this maybe going to get you down the line to maybe dabble in some cards again?
Yeah, definitely interested. Definitely interested. I like the way I definitely want to get me a yeah card. Definitely want to get up a whole bloodline cards. Yeah, like you said, I saw the Stone Cold and the Rock autographed one. That one looked pretty sick. And just the one you showed me right now too of the Roman Reigns. That one looks pretty cool too. Well, definitely. I know where do they sell these at? Like the Walmarts, Target.
Yeah, they haven't hit yet. Though probably. What do you think? Like,
Yeah, they should. From what I heard, like
retail.
some of them have been hitting a little bit early. It's just kind of just finding it at the right time. So yeah, I would think like middle of the week, Wednesday heading into Friday. I would think like between those time frame is maybe we can start finding them here at our Walmarts, Targets, maybe during your figure runs. Go check out the card section. You probably will find them. And that's going to lead up here to our last segment here, because like we've discussed here, Jim Bro, you are the figure hunter. You're the guy that goes out to these Walmarts, these Targets, looking for the figures. What's the hunt these days? What's the figure that we should be keeping an eye out for as we check our targets for not only cards, but now for the figures? Did I cut out there?
Yeah, you cut off a little bit. I think I understood what you're saying. You're talking about the what's upcoming. Yeah, I mean, normally whenever they release the new figures coming out, they always release some WrestleMania. So we're already towards the back end of like what's been already been announced and been released. So normally when the next WrestleMania hits is when they're going to talk about what's going to be releasing futures. But just from what I've seen, I'm looking forward. Like I said, I'm into the Ultimate Editions. So right now I'm looking forward to the Bray Wyatt. They have the dark match. I know y'all are into that one. There's a Great Muta Ultimate Edition that I've been pretty much looking forward to. I don't think that one's hit stores yet though either. And then they're releasing a Mattel Ultimate Editions Legends Shawn Michaels DX. That one I'm also like, that one's probably going to be a big one for me. And then they're doing a John Cena Fan Takeover Ultimate Edition that I'm like also too. Also, I'm only gonna get this one for the head swap, but they're finally releasing a haircut Roman Reigns. I don't know if you ever noticed with his figures, but he doesn't have a taper fade. He doesn't have the taper hair. Whenever he has his hair in a bun, it's always just like full hair or he has his hair down. So this is the first released Roman Reigns with a tapered haircut, and it's gonna be in the SummerSlam Elites. So I'm definitely gonna have to cop. Yeah, it's just like little
I never
nitpicking
even
stuff like
noticed
that
that.
I've noticed. And then also too, if they go down in price, I want to get me a what is it called? But it's the Legacy. It's a Legacy 3-pack with the Wild Samoans and Roman Reigns. That one looks pretty cool too. I don't know if y'all
I
seen
saw a
that one.
picture. I think I saw a picture of that one.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one.
Oh, and then they have the Straight Edge Society main event basic CM Punk coming out soon too.
Oh
They
yeah,
got some good stuff coming up.
I'm already telling
They
about
got some
that.
good stuff.
I gotta find that one.
And then I was like, and then they got the Rock Final Boss Ultimate Edition. They got some good stuff coming up. Definitely going to have to be hitting up the WalMarts next couple of months.
I forgot about the straight edge one. Yeah, the straight edge one for sure.
Let's
I
do
want,
it.
and then the Bray Wyatt glow in the dark. Those are the two.
Yeah, I want that Bray
So
Wyatt one.
if you find
Really
that
bad.
one, you got to find 3 of them.
Yeah, that one shouldn't be too hard because that one's coming out in the Ultimate Edition Series 25, I believe. And normally those are relatively easier to find when they come out in the series like that. It's like the legends I always have a hard time finding. That's the ones that they sell at Target. Like the one Bro Pio found at the Undertaker for me. Like that was the
Oh
only one
yeah.
I had found. Those are super hard to find, those legends. And then the Dusty Rhodes one was just a disappointment. That one was a disappointment. That face scan.
Yeah, that face cam was bad.
Yeah, the face cam was a little
That was
weird.
a little bit bad.
Yeah.
Poor Dusty. Put some respect on Dusty Rhodes.
And when they finally stock up again on ringside, I do want to cop the CM Punk Ultimate Edition. I lucked out last time. I waited too long, and I hate ordering on ringside because I've always seen these people have bad experiences ringside. If you don't get like the premium shipping, you're gonna get your box destroyed. And if y'all know, I like my stuff the box is mint. So I do want to order a CM Punk whenever they put them back in stock on ringside.
Come on, ringside, get your shit together. Let's ship stuff properly.
You gotta get the premium. You gotta get the premium or not. They come all dented in.
They just fucking throw it. Hey.
Speaking of CM Punk figures, finally got mine in the return one after a freaking year.
Dude, that figure.
Yeah, I finally got mine.
Oh, you finally got it?
That figure, I swear, I had just started collecting when that figure first got announced, and I was all like, I am so glad I didn't get that figure. That took like a year plus for y'all to get it.
Yeah. I remember buying it. It was like, I think it was like in November of last year or the year before. No, I don't remember what it was. Oh, because I didn't see the fucking release date, and then after I checked out, I was like, dude, it's not coming out until February of 2025.
And I guess since we're showing figs, I'll show some of the fans my grills real quick before we hop off.
There you go. Yep, finally got mine. It's a nice one.
Yeah, I was like, damn, dude. I was like, be a little bit more just fucking discreet. Like, you just see the box says CM Punk Mattel. I'm like, god damn, dude. Somebody's gonna.
So out of my 30 plus
take this
figures,
shit.
I'd say these are probably my grills. We got the John Cena. This Robbie's gonna like this one. I think Robbie's seen or Bro Pio seen it. This one.
Oh yeah.
And then I got these next two are gonna be a little what's the word? Damn, I can't think of the word. Yeah, y'all know what I mean. Got my Ruthless Aggression Brock Lesnar.
Who?
And this one's probably my favorite one. Ruthless Aggression Brock Lesnar. Oh, who? And this one's in a save. This one's in a cover. This is my favorite one. Controversial. Those last two were a little controversial. That's the word I was thinking.
With the tear in my eye.
I know those are some last two controversial figs. That maybe you don't want to say are your favorite figs anymore.
I know, and then I sold all my Hulk Hogan's because I didn't like having him anymore. I wasn't a Hulk Hogan guy no more. But then they're all coming out with another Ultimate Edition 2002 Hulk Hogan. I'm kind of like, maybe.
Yeah, this is we don't support Hulk Hogan on this podcast. We're not Hulk Hogan fans. That's why I pulled a base card. I was like, nope, we don't like Hulk Hogan on this one. And I know Bro Pio has a video of him chunking a Hulk Hogan select.
Yeah,
card. So yeah, we do not like Hulk Hogan on collecting the 1, 2, 3. But this has been a fun episode. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully, there's a little bit of a glimpse of what to expect here moving forward. I know, Jim Bro, again, you'll be joining in whenever that you can, because it seems like, you know, when I first launched the pod, you know, going over at least an episode a week is what we targeted. So obviously, if card stuff is dropping, figure stuff is happening, obviously the wrestling is always happening 24/7. If something dramatic happens here, we'll have a pod, and hopefully you could join us. But before we end it here, let's end it off on some final thoughts. Jim Bro will save you for last, so maybe you can collect your thoughts here. But Bro Pio, any final thoughts for the good old listeners of collecting the 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, so I did want to confirm that DIY match that against the Revival that I was trying to look up that I was talking about. It was not Takeover Dallas. It was actually NXT Takeover Toronto, and this was in November. What's the year? 2016. November 2016 is when this match happened, and funny enough, it was actually 2 out of 3 falls. So go watch that match. DIY versus the Revival for the NXT Tag Team titles. So
good final thought. Jim Bro, any final thoughts?
Final thought, I just appreciate Moon 3PO and Bro Pio having me on. First pod, debut. Hope it went pretty smooth. And just looking forward to the future episodes and getting the fans and the people out there a little glimpse of my thoughts and my takes.
Always. So yeah, I think moving forward here, we'll have a good little trio going on here, and I think we can, as we approach WrestleMania season, I think we'll definitely be having some fun here on the pod. It's talking wrestling. It's wrestling. It's never meant to be taken so serious. So if we can just come on here, talk about an hour and a half of just straight up wrestling, figures, collectibles, whatever. Yeah, I want to see why it wouldn't be a good time. Yeah, final thoughts here on my end. Again, if you haven't seen the YouTube video of Open Up a Hobby Box, please feel free to go check that out. That's over at Moon3PO. That's where all my socials are: TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. You can follow me there at Moon3PO. You can follow Bro Pio here at his socials at _Robbie. That's ROBBEEE. That's 2 B's, 3 E's. Jim Bro, are we doxing you? Are we doxing your IG? Do you want that out there?
Are you cut off?
I figured. Jim Bro, are we doxing your IG?
Yeah, we're dropping it. It's gonna be a _period NOA.HH. And just to say it again, _period NOA.HH. Noah. You probably can't even see it anyways, but
third time's a charm. It's _.NOA.HH. So if you want to go follow him there on Instagram, is that your same on your TikTok?
No, my TikTok, it's a different. I should probably make him the same so that it's not too confusing. But on my TikTok, where that's my true Jim Bro page, that's gonna be _period Noah 29. And yeah, just like Moon 3PO touched, he will be having a poll on his Instagram soon. I'm gonna come up with 2 other names and see what y'all guys are rocking with.
That's right. We're gonna give him a week to come up with some names. We'll let some voters discussion, a mutual discussion here, and we'll get that introduced, and then we'll have a new intro for all of us here once we do officially get that name cooking. But yeah, that's all I had on my end. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, thank you guys for listening. Make sure to leave a rating, comment on those platforms as well. Let us know how we're doing. If you are watching on the YouTube channel, if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I think we're like at 673 subscribers, something like that. So the push to 1,000 is getting really real. So again, appreciate all the support